Premier League debate ba kwe and he said near my says autonomous league. Yamfa league ni ma company be no pretty. Every GFN na omankasa enyo madie. Na enwa yankasa no good fellow by. Ama yedi nkomo. Na yebiza say dia na ama ye league ni nya kono. Atese ama ese clubs no cram person be stadium akwa help matches near there. Now no there na okoro kwa na prinkra. Supporters tell say womunko stadium say na be opim so hu a team no be supporters na ni diwe na oye bibia waye edi amom entem die ne ye amaye league etime ye akono say ne ene ye ka dia Michael Emiliano mu eye emansa the pro league na enso akosro na san komo no ana yankasa ye nua ye kan say good fellow Andra oni edi san koma na odi yentin koma oni edi na yensase na yeni sansem no enso eho enkomo ni bi.
Our idea about football no, is where the problem starts. Inti we share the developed countries, you know, how they see football as business. Are buying to as a very important part of their GDP and all of that, you know, is a basic. Inti how are now those times maybe how football evolved in Ghana no is part of the problem. So you want to say you did grow. I mean to
business opportunity.
So that is so we're not. Bobo has nekotoko for. I mean, inti me. I think that as I said, it to me share GFE now by so edin na nsim na GFE efi illegal. Let's use the model that the English are using. You're forming a company. GFE will stake home. And buying so will stake home. Now you seed funding them as a Premier League company or something to run this professionally, because we share how the structure is. GFE executives or clubs or more interest in clubs on one committee and a referee a select approve stadium. We are not going to go anywhere, because I mean if I'm a GFA president and I'm a club or I'm
protecting interest.
Very simple. So we need to resolve that foundation right, because I know that there are people if these things are done we are the systems are correct. I mean me first can be shame no be ancient. I mean me team boy no be points because I mean all these competitions that people qualify to play also bring in revenue. So we need to resolve that baseline structure. Yeah, resolve it. Yeah, you will see the number of corporate entities who will throw in money.
Okay, we good fellow. And koma when he edi na yente na na penkra. Ono so abrana okase supporters no. Aba stadium ama ehoye kama eno pem so enso hwe a osi menana numi. Isa do mani abre kodokodo mankasa pese ye niye. Na bibia wetima aye ntentem e de ama asante kodoko.
Na Kings project is na msika no yera na eye na ade o ye ne Kings project enti ono aye na ade emrepam time obefo say ede emrepam no eno ye mentimi nkofo so no mentimi ye bibia no ase be encourage no ni na aso gina supporters muso ma hoboa anwo de beboa no ebi ni se mo be ba stadium abeta abo boko echi na me ma report ono aye show TV so na wotia o se supporters so sta na chi no ye bibi ona kumoma no wo so ye ama team na mo ma matna da bi no no so hu senia sika me di ko she me kura be investment papa ni ana de o so no anu ye na de o expect any returns bia but ni na so gina supporters me kai na say oguso ye ne de say see I pitch I am moving from the was
okay, so I come ye league, you know. Kwamba ne ya faswa ebetimi aye attractive. Sani aye kan like Saudi Pro League ya o ma trance ewe league na nkasa obi o plan ewu se dabi team we emu ya emre enti munye ne se Ghana ye die ebetimi adu sampempe so na Ayala ye league ni baby ani na mi ani baby a wow with Saudi in semi sase daben na ye dru baby sa
minim se na IFHS for no say IFFHS
yes
ye ba be discuss ye league no ene na kono aye ene ni ranking say ye de toto ye continent ya anopay menka semira ho because minim dada.
Okay.
Unim say according to IFFHS 2025 or more ranking African leagues no. Top 10 no. Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, Algeria, Tunisia, Tanzania, DR Congo, Mali, Angola, Ivory Coast. Gabi, Ghana, we are nowhere close to the top 10 leagues. Our African continent. Also. Now, beyond Eno, say, okay, a platform this one, and I hope say your social media phone will help us. Na ye de bia to Nhyira TV page ni so. Na ye di nkomo nkofo ehu. In 2023, Anna, the Ghana Football Association, ESCO, Edebe to abonten say omo wiye meeting. Ama omo ho kwan. Ama omo forming the Ghana Premier League Limited company. Gabi NCWAO, they went on to advertise. Say omo pe CEO for the company Ghana Premier League Limited. 2023. We are in 2026.
3 years on.
YNTV. Now, say, Yankomo ya yedi, emuodu, etching the normal, league, you know, and you're attractive because your players here can talk, league and you're attractive because Bono league and you're attractive because officiating. Who said that has always been the standard of so what can league in attractive. But ye see a pejam communim. And common a too light. But because a too shallow. When only limited to clubs and team maintaining players officiating in born in venues in look. Sa no money in it's because the structure of the league, you know. It's not the best. And unim enkomo we no udi aon. Gabi dini say unim say GFA clubs no football league no. Any omo from football people no, they know the problem. And the evidence are ebemu who say omunim problem no. Aye say omo ko share them year meeting. No, almost say Yanti Ghana Premier League Company Limited. No, and Omunimo.
Yeah,
and I don't want a mono to know. Send a bay or met me a solve problem, and no more you know. And the issue no, and you say they don't know the problem, they know. The issue no, and you say they don't know the solution because solution now who professor say Yanko autonomous. No, they've already started the process, so they know the solution. The issue then say a dear never trigger na omanya the will to see it through. Ede na awon keka ben na ede na be bo mu tuja. Omo benya awon keka na omo de awie sa adwuma no na league na de no. That should be the main focus. Because eba it's a company no. Yeah, do the modalities as to how a company ninya all the companies no obia seed money also tia. Yeah, pursue amana. They have done that job already. Inti ebane say na 3 years in here. You any push say you be call autonomous no.
Mebo ebia enyewe na Togba Afedemo ekwetena
so. Togba Afedemo is the chairman of the Autonomous League Committee. And Walidi Amaya register company no.
Nti akasa ye be sase
Walidi Amaya draw the modalities no. Amaya advertise ye CEO of the company.
And he say ye CEO.
a true say advertising for CEO no. And yaka. Yeah, what want to whether people applied, whether a interview, whether crafts net your music money, yente should be maybe seen. Enti mimi de Gabi in crensha me de be ma your colleague media. Say yes, so you betimi di nkomo for them to fix the structure na mayen because bibia ka bia ye discuss no say you need players a omo betina league ni mu ache ye nyi sika e beto players papa ye pitches nye ye referees officiating your bad there are a lot of conflict of interest san you mani nyina no. It is so because of the current structure of your league, you know. And we can fix. See, it's me fix the structure and say kima. After a no man getting a one winning we will find solutions to it one by one with a new structure. And tell this idea. Other platforms, no. Mama yenyai and komomu aha. You was a league in your attractive. Oh, intimate retaining your players. Oh, your pitches in yet. Oh, yeah, hooliganism. Oh, conflict of interest. Let's elevate the conversation. Now, from Kosoro, because we are the people. Say, I can't jump and I see about FNO. I'm almost see through the direction I echo to find the league independent and move more into a corporate structure. Rather than the current political structure now. Ye me o se dia no tumwa ni eka no omo hihye omo say Charlie. Ade no we ankofo ni bo eja no. Ye hwe ni nya ade no no ye ntie.
The next question na nka mba be bisa ye baby ade mere. Why na say ensure say sisi your modalities your plan your bibia or your register company no. Why na say or say yes ye execute
the ESCO.
Executive committee no.
Exactly say omo duma. Nti omo na wo say omo committee omo ankasa te no. Omo de to gba fe de dan no.
E dan no.
E see through say
ye be sha se et na anase ye sha se.
Ye de akotie we. And you see Enra, you are good fellow make a very very good point. And I want to marry na and come say wa ye be dia.
E na be to so adi ni.
Me Gabi. Me said na so convinced still na ye nya ban bia sports no fa hu sa o.
Oh yeah, sure sir.
Oh. Unim de tia meka sa. To see enough evidence a baby for a sports no will be a bayan on one kasa. A very very good knowledge of the problem within your sports. Na you're voting into power na no. All solutions are or the be wem.
Tenya obeko energy commission omo ban omo plans omo data.
Yes, there no problem. Say the problem let's here.
Okay.
And yeah, on for the governance and I'm money say yes. Ye babe solve problem bia including the sports one. And yeah, man, ye solution e di beni. Mamma example. Aban boa efi. Ame di adesa production. Ye nya omudu musika be really gidim. E very good. But say ebe wiye peya. E de boni beka say the sustainability of sa corporate interest de bia e betimi grow sika no.
Unim baby a ode yakofa no. In depth one pa fast konko for mama net na ye ni san common because so when you say kima say ye wie the preko Fifi blem kakra mam na ye ma ye collect no so emrem na ye mo bre kakra
Gabi, I think the media can several times say sports developments being a bit more cost or might be also without the near 100% input from government.
As Ayala to now was free.
Oh yeah, I mean, you say so share their desa production, but look at just that amount of money, how it has brought life into your league. The last time, even the amount of money says kind of buy. Last time when the Diana CEO bar, he spoke about the importance of that amount. Even though we're team raises one change, because we invest says kind of for future issues, so it's important, and it came from the government. I think say a team ever do this point that it should say and share. From the government. because in fact, they are not going to be just stakeholders, only a major stakeholder in that conversation of sport. And I've said it several times, say, unless we run football and the league, independent of every other thing, because it has to be somebody's private dealing. Said this is the company where all the clubs near Ghana Premier League have shares. You forfeit the shares when you go in relegation to the one who is coming back automatically. Then you get certain amount of money, so you protect the interest, because the more you do your things well, the more you get money. The more Benyes can be the Arano club. But say Obana said, you see, so this one comes before the other small issues now. You wouldn't say any problems no. And when you approach your friend is a marketing well. We are speaking of the Saudi Pro League. One vision, one umbrella. And the smaller club umbrellas and almost go into that vision. So Obia vision fuse into that. Where do we want to go to in the next 5 years? You say Ghana Premier League top 10 leagues in Africa. What does that entail? You be retaining your players. How do you retain your players? You pay them good amount of money. Over more tiabia on bobo park papa so you bet me a me Fifi and maka chem say Jack. Utim na ukitaro. Park no bo so ninge. And we yes kukra yes kukra. Yeah private company managing the league. They are saying that we can't let you play there. So it is very important for us to go there. But you see, Ubisa Ayala say one a bit me said man. From the footballing side, Esco. But Esco for now sounds a football for. On one of them sounds only club. No. So that doesn't work. And that is why the government has to come in. Okay. That is why the conversation should go beyond just your Black Stars. That is why for me, say Debia, the focus of the ministry is only about Black Stars coach, but it's more myopic for me. It is for me in terms of the conversation of sports, it starts from your league, That is the most marketable part. Because Rich, Gabi, ultimately can't say you can market swimming better than football, the Ghana Premier League. You can't even market boxing as much as you can market that. In the short term, maybe one day event you can get it, but the long term, football gives you a more viable than even boxing. Same for athletic. So when you start from that in conjunction with the NSA, it's important for them to start to make sure say the right way to go. Let all the clubs come on board. There is even a way the government can provide loans as seed capital for the clubs. Because you say class in so many seed capital. So government say okay fine. We see capital now so utiano. We see unis but in the next 2 to 3 years you pay at this interest. It is kind of as in fast from league. As time goes on, we deduct you near the BIA interest, near the BIA sports fund. I've said several times, Gabi, one of your biggest problems as a people is that we don't put effort in being creative in finding solutions. Ghanaians are so good, especially the football ecosystem, in professing wrongdoings. We are say. But what are the solutions? And that is where I think the government has to come in. So government to me is the standard.
Inaugurated and I say yes swearing in for the sports fund board. We need to be interested in the structure of maybe a two category. And yes, you just put in the money. But any sustainable.
This kind of combat.
Minnesota focus. You think Accra will approve any budget we send?
No.
Say it is fixed into
the general plan.
Until we can't just be interested in for and raising the money.
Plan it is.
We should be interested in. Baby, this kind of question structure is it right to sustain to even maximize and that's how this can what the corner out of them, and we are pumping, but you will not see the growth.
Okay, try na mo course no mafa e wo dwuma so